What's good? It's your boy Hunt. Hey, we are here with DB, I don't know, we don't have a name for it yet. DB School, DB Labs, DB Academy, whatever we're gonna call it. But yo, this is the place you wanna be if you wanna take your game to the next level this offseason. Basically, this series is gonna be focusing on helping DBs improve their game, both physically and mentally. Yo, there's a lot in store for it, a lot of different things we're gonna do with it, but yo, like, share, comment, subscribe, yo, run it up, because trust me, this stuff right here is gonna take your game to a whole new level. Today, we're gonna talk about how safeties can improve their range and how you can make more plays on the ball. And I ain't gonna lie, if I look cold, it's because it's cold as hell out here right now. First really cold winter day of the year. Yeah, and I don't like it. Now, everyone wants to have range at safety. Everyone wants to be able to make plays solid on the sideline. Well, the good news is, if you're not the fastest guy in the world, it doesn't necessarily matter, because there are still ways that you can put yourself in position to make plays when you're playing deep that don't just require speed. And I think the three most important things for having range are your footwork, your angles, and then your anticipation and ability to read the quarterback. Now, it's been said time and time again, football is a game of inches. And with your footwork, say you're in your pedal, you're reading the quarterback, and you see him throw it, and your footwork's off, you take too many steps getting out of your break. Well, that's gonna put you inches away from being able to make plays, and it's gonna look like you have no range, but in reality, you have something super, super simple that you can fix that will allow you to be in position to make the play. And to work on this, it's super simple. Literally, just have someone stand and act as a quarterback, get in your pedal, read them, whichever way they open up, break that way. And on your break, what you wanna make sure you do is, a lot of times, guys will break, look at the ball. I even have a bad habit at this sometimes. Guys will break, look at the ball. What's that doing? What that's doing is just slowing you down. So you want to break, open up, have good footwork. You want to do this in as little steps as possible. It needs to be 2 steps. It needs to be here, here, here. Right foot in the ground, left foot open. Your right foot then needs to be driving to where you're trying to run to. A lot of times you'll see guys kind of stumble out of it, go here and round it. You do that, you're going to be too far away. You're not going to make the play. But like I was saying before, once you open up, you want to drive for a few steps, probably like 3 steps before you look up at the ball or the receiver. What that's going to do is it's going to keep you running full speed. And by running full speed, you're going to be further along than if you're not running full speed, obviously. And that's going to put you in a position to make the play. Because at the end of the day, as a deep safety, that's what it's all about. Making the play, affecting the play. So like I said before, just get in your pedal. The next thing that's important is angles, because your angle can literally make or break if you make the play or not. Now, when it comes to your break angle, you kind of have to perfect this, because if you're too high, what that'll do is that'll put you above the ball. Now the receiver, if he catches it, 1, he can cut back on you, but 2, you're not going to be there to really affect anything. When you get the most reps, but this is also when a lot of guys bullshit. In practice, every time there's a deep ball, you want to break, and you just want to get used to, okay, with my speed, with my footwork, what angle do I have to take in order to put myself in a position to where I'm either making a play on the ball or I'm able to affect the receiver and if he catches the ball. And for those of you out there that played baseball, you'll remember saying if you played center field or anywhere in the outfield that you want to go back before you go forward. So with that being said, you want to have an angle. If you're going to be wrong, you want to err on the side of being too high, because if you're too high, that allows you to come back down and make a play. Whereas if you're too flat, it's going to be a lot harder to try and get more vertical and be in position. And I'm going to give you all a little cheat. So remember before when I said you want to keep your head down when you open up so that way you can be full speed? Well, when you're keeping your head down running, you can actually periff the receiver in your DB, your corner. And when you do that, you can kind of get a gauge of where they're going before you look for the ball. So you can kind of start adjusting your angle while you're looking straight ahead. Then you look up in the air for the ball. You see the ball, you see its flight path, you see where it's going to land, and now you don't have to adjust your angle necessarily as much as you would if you were just going into it blind. So you have an idea of where the ball is going to be based on the receiver. then you look at the ball, you know where the ball is going to be. So then at that point, all you have to do is get the right angle, make a play. Oh, and one final thing, this is football, stuff happens. If you're ever too flat when you're coming out the middle of the field, do not look up for the ball, find the receiver, because the amount of times you'll see a guy be too flat, look up for the ball, think they're going to make a play, the ball's just over their head, now the receiver catches it and scores a touchdown, it's too high. So if you're too flat, you find yourself in a bad position, don't make things worse by having bad technique, bad eyes. If you're too flat, find the receiver. Then if you catch up to him, then you can look back for the ball. But if not, you know, a coach always told me, you don't want to make a 14-yard play, a 40-yard play, and you don't want to make a 40-yard play a touchdown. So if you get beat, you know, stuff happens. It is what it is. Always try and live to see the next play. And by looking for the ball when it's up in the air, when you're beat, that's a surefire way to not see another play. And then the final tip to improving your range is going to be having the ability to read the quarterback and anticipation. Now by that I mean, when you're in your pedal, a lot of times quarterbacks, you know, they're going to drop back, they're going to look different ways. They might even turn their shoulders. That doesn't mean they're throwing it. So a surefire way to get caught out of position and have it look like you have bad range is the quarterback say he looks to my left, I break to my left, I start running there. Whole time he's just looking that way. He wants to throw back right. Now I'm probably, you know, 7 to 10 yards too far in the wrong direction, and I'm never going to be able to make a play to the other side. So that's why whenever you're a deep defender, your weave is super critical. If the quarterback looks one way, give a slight weave. Don't allow yourself to get too far removed off the line, because remember, quarterbacks, they're trying to deceive you, but you can also deceive them. So stay in your weave, Don't open up either way. Really allow him to get free access to the other side. And then when he ultimately does throw it, that's when you break. But if you have good anticipation, you'll be able to actually get a jump on quarterbacks. Now, anticipation is something that comes from a lot of reps and a lot of film study. Now, if you're new to the position, if you're a younger guy, I don't necessarily recommend doing this, but something I did was, you know, you study the quarterback, you study if he's a first look kind of guy, if he's a second look kind of guy, if he's really a guy that looks people off. Now, some quarterbacks, they already predetermine where they're going with the ball. The look is primarily just to try and throw an inexperienced safety off. So he'll look this way, try and get the safety to start opening up that way. Whole time he already knows in his mind he's going over here. So one thing I used to do, especially when I was playing a younger quarterback, is I'll be in my pedal. I see him looking that way. I might give a small weave, but before he even turns to throw the ball, I'll already be breaking that way because I know where he wants to go with it. I understand with the formation they're in, what route concepts they're running, if they're running deep or short routes. And what that allowed me to do is actually just be further along than I would be if I was just sitting back here waiting for him to get ready to throw it. Now, like I said, I was a veteran safety, played a lot of football, watched a ton of film. So if you're someone that kind of bullshits on the film, I wouldn't recommend this because it's a surefire way to, you think you know what you're getting, but you don't actually know. So you start opening up this way, whole time, he's actually a quarterback that looks people off, you're getting looked off. So if you're not ready for it, don't do that step. And the biggest thing at DB is being honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself if you're really ready to kind of do some advanced things at DB, because the worst thing possible, especially at safety, is you try to be too advanced, doesn't work out, now you're giving up touchdowns. And if you're a young guy giving up touchdowns, I promise you that is the quickest way to find yourself on the bench. Okay, lesson 2, how to make more plays on the ball. Now I know this is gonna sound super simple, but the way you make plays on the ball is to find the ball. And the way to find the ball is to find the person who is holding the ball during a pass. And by that, I mean you have to have your eyes on the quarterback in order to see where he wants to throw the ball, because ultimately where the quarterback throws the ball, that's where you want to be. And this is easier in some coverages than others. You know, if you're in man, if you're in match quarters, it's going to be pretty hard to have your eyes on the quarterback. Actually, no, you shouldn't have your eyes on the quarterback. If you're there, I should be on your man. But if say you're a hook defender, cover 2, you're a flat defender, cover 3, you're the deep safety in cover 2, cover 3, cover 1, your eyes need to be on the quarterback, because ultimately he's going to take you to where you want to be. Now, one thing I've heard that's like a great debate is, especially when you're a deep safety, if you want to be reading the quarterback or you want to be reading routes. Now, I've been taught both ways, and I can 100% say that reading the quarterback was by far the better way in terms of being able to make plays. So let me show you. So when we were running cover 2, our rule was our landmark 2 yards outside the hash, get to our landmark and just stay in a straight pedal, get depth from there. So I'd be in my pedal reading the quarterback from here. Whichever way he looks and throws the ball, I can break that way. So I can break inside, I can break outside. Now, a lot of times what I'll see when guys are reading receivers is, all right, they're reading 2-1 over here, they're reading, see what's happening. Whole time, quarterback's looking that way, throwing the ball, they're still in their pedal here, not able to affect the play over there because they don't have vision on where the ball's going. And another thing I see with a lot of guys that read routes is they'll let the receiver's routes dictate where they go. And by that I mean, they'll be in their pedal, they're reading 1-2, say they see one runner vertical, they'll start widening out with it, you know, wanting to stay over top of it. Whole time, two's running a bender across their face. Now, on their landmark, they'd be in position to make that play, but now they're 5 yards outside their landmark. The bender just has way more space to be completed, and they're not gonna be able to affect that play. Likewise, if the quarterback decides he wants to throw the ball to a post coming from the other side of the field, now they're not in a position to make it. Whereas if you were over here, quarterback throws a post, your eyes are on him, now you're seeing it, and you'll be in position to actually affect that. And something you're gonna hear me say a lot is a good safety, actually a good defensive back, is able to have great peripheral vision. So on my pedal, I see number 2 run under, run across my face, whatever. I see number 1 out of the peripheral of my eye because I'm still reading the quarterback, take an inside stem. I know I can weave in and pack it in a little bit because I want to stay inside of 1, cover 2. Whole time I'm still looking at the quarterback because he's going to take me where I want to be. But out of the peripheral of my eyes, I can understand that, okay, I can change up my technique, I can change up my landmark slightly because I see what's going on. And that's really the thing about safety is you have to be able to see the big picture. Like some guys, they're just, like some guys, a lot of corners out there, they're gonna be, you know, super great at seeing just a little thing, seeing one thing, and being great at shutting that down. At safety, you have to be able to see basically the whole field, see everything going on, and be able to react off that. But that's gonna do it for episode 1 of the series. Hey, drop in the comments any questions you got about being a DB. You know, maybe get a video on it, maybe I'll just make a quick post about it, but y'all drop the questions. I'm trying to share all the knowledge with y'all, get y'all better for next season. But hey, drop a like, subscribe. Hey, share this video with all the DBs you know, because whether you're a player or coach, hey, you watch this, best believe you're gonna be on a different level next year. But I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Peace.